To our homeland, Ashanti man and Ghana, Yenara Yasasini, as many as are able, please rise.
So if you will forgive me, I recognize you, sir, and the Minister. Everybody else, please forgive my determination to move quickly. The opportunity to participate in the building of this extraordinary business that is Gensa is one of the great privileges I've had in my recent life. And frankly, therefore, ranks alongside some of the great moments in my life, such as children and getting married. And I think very much part of what my family has been about, and we have been doing this for over 120 years, is trying to build business that supports community. And we have been successful in South Africa, we've been successful in Zambia and Zimbabwe, we've been successful in Namibia, we've been successful in Nigeria and in Uganda and in a past life Tanzania. We've also had success further north in Morocco, and it's now time to try and bring that success to Ghana, and particularly to here at Ashanti. And Your Majesty, I'm not sure if this is appropriate or right, but Sam Jonah calls me his nephew and my father his brother. And I feel that I have, for some considerable time, had a very close association with this wonderful country. And so thank you for allowing us to come and participate in the development of Ghana and everything that I hope will be the next 50 to 100 years. Ultimately, to do that, Ghana needs to grow. Actually, I lie. Africa needs to grow, and Ghana at the forefront of that. We need to create a domain where every single person here and every single person you know looks to tomorrow and believes it will be better than it is today. That is the challenge that we face. To do that, we need two things. We need labor, people to do and build and create goods and services so that we can have a better life. And we need capital so that that can result in factories and machinery and training and services so that those things can be delivered. Ultimately, the world is a very simple place in that it needs those two catalytic parts to come together to create a future. We believe, in joining with Gensa, that we have been able to bring some capital to do that. But we need to find ways to bring more capital. And frankly, the opportunities to invest money in Africa, in Ghana, have proved remarkably lacking. And that is in large part because the opportunities, while superficially there, when examined in detail, have not been there. And Nana, your comments about business being the driver of the future are entirely correct. And the private sector does, I believe, lead in the provision of our well-being. And if we think to our most successful communities, They have been driven by individual endeavor, driven by individual business and activity, which has benefited all of us. And I really think that that is absolutely vital. So I believe Ghana has to grow. And ultimately, the most important component of bringing labor and capital together, the enabler of so much in this world of the 21st century, is energy. Without energy, so much is not possible. And GENSA is about bringing cheap, affordable, practical, deliverable energy to Ghana. And I think that what we've been able to achieve in building some 420 kilometers of gas pipeline, generator units at various mines, and in the process of building the gas conversion plant here, are all signals to what we want to do in terms of a sustainable long-term future here in delivering sustainable energy solutions to this country and its neighbors. And we've been doing that remarkably successfully, and we're doing it in a way that we hope is globally competitive. And so I challenge any of you to look at what we do, and don't compare it against others here in Ghana, but compare it to the rest of the world. And I believe we are competitive. And in that competitiveness, we will deliver a solution to Ghanaian growth, which will reach beyond just this moment in time to years into the future. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Your Majesty, if I can make perhaps a boast, that GENSA is for Ghana and beyond. Thank you all.
I give to you the man who conceived this and has brought it to life. Ladies and gentlemen, he's yours. Asante man, welcome, your very own, the Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
Okucha Esio and Anyampong. Jonathan Oppenheimer. Distinguished invited guests. Today is indeed a remarkable day. And I've been thinking whether I deserve the tag I conceived the idea. Those who worked before me till I got into the ministry had started planting the seeds of job creation and industrialization in the middle belt of the country. In fact, when I became the Minister of Energy, the plan, like my good friend said, was well laid to extend pipeline from Pristia to, in fact, to ensure that affordable energy is created for the bauxites and refineries that was going to creep up in Yinehini. In fact, the plan included a pipeline from Yinehini through Kumasi, through Chebi, and back to Tema to ensure that that industrialization will be driven by cheap energy fueled by gas. What I may have done was to create the atmosphere where private sector capital will bring the pipeline to Kumasi faster, cheaper, and more efficiently, and ensure that under the reign of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, a lover of Ashanti in all forms, this project happens. Because many projects are conceived and they do never happen. But we had to ensure that this project happens during the reign of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I must say on that note that there are people that I have to thank for their services to the country. I have mentioned His Excellency the President, His Excellency the Vice President Dr. Mamu Balmia, who is the chairman of the economic management team, who envisioned that the pipeline will move all the way from Pristia through mining communities, including Yinehini. That conception had already been done before I got to the ministry. I have to thank my colleagues in the ministry before me, Minister Amewu, Minister Oreku, who had worked tirelessly to ensure that this happened. Probably the only reason why Nana Nyampong and Bafo J would say I conceived, the first time I ever spoke to Bafo, he was in America. And he was of the firm view that the pipeline should go from Nirehini and come to Kumasi. And I challenge him that whoever says it's possible is a liar. He doesn't know the topography, the spatial build of between Nirehini and Kumasi. And anybody who tries to build the pipeline there will suffer enormous cost such that the project will not become bankable. So I asked him to try other pathways, but to go through less built up area and get to Kumasi, and for that matter KNUST, as quickly as possible. My resolve was based upon the fact that two of my technical advisors who are here, and I'll congratulate very soon, assured me that technically they needed a generation center in Kumasi to enable even Gridco to transmit efficiently across the canal and reliably. That is Ebenezer Sieni, Gridco Brigo Chief Executive. Thank you. But could you stand up so that people recognize you? And the VRA Chief Executive, who's been my very good friend for years. We have a lot of battles in the office. But yes, he came around to support the idea that he was prepared, Jeff, he was prepared to relocate a Mary plant to which we had given over to VRA to ensure that power generation starts as soon as the pipeline gets here. And indeed, these two people have always come to my office to assure me of their support. So this project has happened because of private capital, because of hard-working technical people, and our good self. I only facilitated and make sure that people fall in line, right? You will fall in line because the project had to happen. But the person who spiritually, physically, morally has made me what I am also decided to back the project. That is Her Majesty Otumfuo of State. He alone, and he alone, is the one who calls and tells me and puts me straight, right? He says, Napo, it has to happen, and it will happen. Once he has said it must happen. So if today we are here, we should thank all the good people working in JENSA, all the good people who work in the Ministry of Energy, all the advisors, technical and everything, who have made sure that today we have such a project. The benefits of this project is not seen but today, but very soon. The projects, the number of jobs it would make happen in Ashanti Region. Like now, when we look on our right, if you are sitting on your left, AXA Power and AXA Energy is going to build a huge plant also to serve, to create power in Kumasi. VRA itself has started. In fact, it has other plants it's going to bring to Kumasi. And also, Senate is also bringing plants. I know they've bought a plant to also come and locate in Kumasi. Very soon, there's so much power to help industrialization in Ashanti and beyond. When you go into the history of Ghana, Ashanti for years was the hub of industrialization in the country called Ghana. And surely, under the Otumfuo II, Ashanti will come back as the industrial hub of this country. Thank you, and God bless us all.
And then heading to Kumasi, it just speaks to one thing, that it is possible. And so very soon, the sea will be brought from Accra to Kumasi. That one too, it is possible. My only problem, Your Majesty Otumfuo, is how Antoa and Mami Water will coexist together. But we'll solve that one when we get there. He speaks to us today in the voice of our fathers gone and our fathers here present, the writer king who sips communion wine with the gods. Please welcome Nana Asasi. But we'll solve that one when we get there. He speaks to us today in the voice of our fathers gone and our fathers here present, the writer king who sips communion wine with the gods. Please welcome Nana Asasi.
When a child is called before his elders, he dare not name names or call titles, lest he misses one and be made to pay a fine. And so I am simply a child learning the ropes of the world and the ways of my people. My elders, if I miss a word or two, forgive me. I am ever ready to learn. A man can only be as true as his mother tongue. Into yes, your bow betcha your money sumai. Yet to 7 penny, as a mammy fedun come 7 penny, 9. I will only offend you out of 4. I will have 36 chances that my neck will not be a matter for discussion when all of this is done. I greet you, my kinsmen. Wakweche sio eturiya koshe nkwa asembe nye abofra te seme eba ne sen ye frame asemu a enyi nche mi na so wudwane nyame a wo hye na se wudwane asase a wonam ne so nti yen hye ase ntumrika na duru hoteta na so abofra na me de o kese e no kenten soro nti yen de ye hye ayehu ne se echinie na so hye e ka ne furuma empaibo de bochire onyankopon de obi anti bi da ayin fo chiye ne bia de didi bi achi na so no de e ye dutwam so biemu a awie tie no ye pia ko soro a onyankopon te ase na ye him ne saa obia pim ko na chi enenne na kane beba ono de no wote kane mo de da ode anyinam ene kontokwa enunti ene otumi hye ema kane a ene anyinam esan be pie osa inti maimu wako edin kunim ato ho imprimpring asade ne yesesa ye huni ago obisi manwate edin peninsem na so magya no moni tu abofra na medie na emu se mehwe se di onyankopon bo na ade no sane onipam no koye na wasan aba bie wo a betimi enso ago fi ha usani fa wo ma so kire otwedi ampon na fa kire yen nana o sei tutu nyame kese ababio na wohunu no a wohunu ne se wohunu nyankopon wo pa asem aka kire nyankopon a kagun framem wate na so wo pa asem de asia madachi ma kasha asase yem ikura ne ha aja me baya me besire nimdie me besire nyansa me besire nyinche bibia mempeti wo me di sie manchiri ma ba be hono ne se oba de anwene ne sikan tuma no wo de asase mfimfini no de badwe mate se menye wo esi ho sa asem bi kire wiase so a omo mfamra ne yensa ne nyansa pono badwe mani eno nti asanteman enne yate asem de ye hono asempa okoton wo anoma ohene bei ohene ba ne de ane papa ti ase ohema ba ne de ane maame ti ase nti wo hu eda no ye hia ye me nana no mu amini mu di nkomo me kire se wo pese hu abofra de ache ya no ahwe n'agya no matifi
me wo hanne
Zom
enam adwuma ye esi hen
zom
ne ekwan ye nam so a eba ye ne bra empanyimfo eda adwuma ya no abre ansa ne edru hase
zom
edru baabi ne yeso mama ne nkata kwanko a
zom
me ba ne me nana ye ka so agisika
zom
afri adwuma fo e ho
zom
na wo ko wa krata mu nyinara
zom
adwuma ne yese eka wo mbebo no wo chemu miensa we no be ye baako yese da bi ye ntiase
zom
ka anruha
zom
nana yese da bi ye mpre na aban makwa me yenye
zom
afedi akwala wo ya santini nti no opeso de ba
zom
na nyanya mpon me nua me nana no
zom
ne ba wonya asantini
zom
tie die nti no no so se ha no de ba
zom
adwuma na no oye
zom.
For those words of wisdom that you shared with us, they will leave a lasting impression on us. What do these modest efforts mean for Santiman, for Ghana and Africa going forward? It is my pleasure to invite the CEO of Gensa Energy to wrap it all up in his closing remarks. Welcome, yours and mine, Otumfuo Isiama Ejei.
Otumfuo Osei the second, His Royal Majesty, Honorable Napo, the past most worshipful brother, most worshipful Okuchesium Nana Osei Nyampo. Jonathan Oppenheimer, honorables, ladies and gentlemen, Pacho and Nedi Mekachi na I ugovuze mentichi nti na mpeza mekachi obi aza mentichi. Na na maybe 19 and yearby na wose na meri muachimota na wose worisi Asante Region for front me papa's me bejano. To me by and I ba ceremony no na e hupa o ya bofra na e hupa inti. I'm here with a lot of memories and knowing that 25 years HMO and another 25 years riba, but this 25 years riba a full of industrialization. Ubeka say full of industrialization in the empire airborne is Otumfuo menya hoden na wetumi a shepherd Ashanti towards this industrialization. Now, pipe de abedu ha, but yenina ejuma 2 or I say na ejuma 2 no ejuma honorable na Napo kudebia okeke omugu masum na wo menifa na Jonathan nso keke omugu masum na wo benkum na ejuma ne say right of way no CM protect here ebesai bibia great ko for ya won ejuma VR for ya won ejuma but CM protect right of way na ebesai pipeline and na ebesai power plants ring gas na won nyina so aman one solution but we say yen farmers no ene ahemfo na ewo right of way for no yenye ejuma ni yenye vegetable farms because vegetable farms they farmers never caught right of way so every day to see say every year inti eno ne empire e body say ejuma ba kwa aka no ye ne ahemfo no ene ye ne project affected people no be ye ejuma na yenga protect right of way inti Otumfuo ya da sepa say oje atina okrom ene da se for the support of the mind. Thank you very much.
Your friend of Bafo is Siamaji. That's me, it's a semi for the Ocase and the Mentua, which now. But Mamboding, we thank you ever so much, our dear CEO, for those very warm and touching words. And so, as we bring this ceremony to a close, allow me the pleasure of making a few announcements. At the end of this event, we shall take some memorable photographs here. As alluded to earlier, this is a very sensitive installation. It may patrol yen to me at the same time. Yebeko in bits kakra into me framework na modi me patrol. I hope that's agreeable. Yebeshe bibi e kosu nyina e wo TV so ha into me patrol yen na yen tenase except for dignitaries na me from no di kan na say nyina yebeko. As we bring this ceremony to a close, Your Majesty, Your Royal Majesty Otumfuo, I believe the lessons out there.
So, and they were able to attract Mr. Oppenheimer. His family has all the money in South Africa. They were able to attract him to come here because he believed in private sector. And they've done it in various countries in Africa. So that is how we have to be looking at it to attract more of these investments into the private sector. So we can do it. My son here, when he was Nanyampo was saying that those small generators and all those given to Bui and all those, Go and review the policy and let the government know how to go about it.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for coming here to witness what we are witnessing today. It's a testimony to the hard work of the Ministry of Energy, Gensa, and private sector. That's why we have this here. And I thank you very much for Anyampo and my son here for inviting me to see what we all prayed for. And now we are here witnessing it. Thank you very much.
And with these words of the writer king who sips communion wine with the gods, I ask that you receive with warmth and delight the owner of this land, the Ashanti Region, Otumfuo Osei II, as he addresses us.
Menchadia and no nam swama de sisi hasisi. Gidia womu say and pass a hand was a bentinesi hasisi. Oka say and neighbor Missy Demi be a major. Me background to my credit, mammy cry, and snitch us and Miss Meba. Me pen tempty. And Nama Juma, me nane a dinner henti. I read any day answer a minister no ne Ura couldn't move here quiet the fast with Beboa Magana, my akoso. Na Santiman so akoso, ne free her costume, ne baby, and so Yakani and a gas. And so, a Fabian so said Debbie, Emperor. Now, Sikamwa, a wafom. The air bounce of Beboa Magana, so a year. Now, for dainty and so near sequine. And no tin and person who didn't hear a wahaya, yen I and nay, try ye see us in any ample brow on the bay. And maybe crime bazaars and now Baba and so a minister, a dating woman and so young who is a never perjument. Yes, Bibusam. As Baba woman, a minister, dating or no crowds, you who is a never perjument here, Boamana. Make a chain. Now, your man near Dana says, "Woman, GD Sam, pass it, yet the Baha be ye." Ama, I name never has a see you who be a Buami in answer. But Jonathan, I agree with you that government should be looking at policies instead of being involved in industry and everything. It doesn't work. And it's about time Ghana realizes that it's not going to work for government to be involved in setting up companies and all those things. It doesn't work. Government should be contained with policies, and then private sector should be involved in setting up industries and everything. It works that way, and therefore you can attract more investments to come to the country, and it creates more employment. VRA and others are our government establishment. Let's give it out and divest to private sector, and then we inject money in there. And get the right people to do it. Great Co and others and all are all for private sector. Let's give them the money, get the qualified people, divest government from it, and let them do it. Other than that, electricity company is in a situation where we don't know, but that also must be divested and give it to private sector. Why are we still holding it when we don't have the money? We are not even able to collect all the taxes that we want. We are going to IMF for money and all those things. We are hanging on to industries that we cannot maintain and run. Look, it's about time we faced realities and then decided on what government should be doing and what private sector should be doing. So that this is a testimony of private sector investment. And they were able to attract Mr. Oppenheimer. His family has all the money in South Africa. They were able to attract him to come here because he believed in private sector. And they've done it in various countries in Africa.
Zo.
So that is how we have to be looking at it to attract more of these investments into the private sector, so we can do it.
Zo.
My son here, when he was Nanyampo was saying that those more generators and all those given to Bui and all those, go and review the policy and let the government know how to go about it.
Zo. Zo. Zo.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for coming here to witness what we are witnessing today.
Zo.
It's a testimony to the hard work of the Ministry of Energy, GENSA, and private sector.
Zo.
That's why we have this here, and I thank you very much for